Okay, so my question is, in your book, you talk about shifting our stance and as change leaders walking around thinking, how can I make things better? Do you have any suggestions for us about how we go about doing that?
I'm sorry, making things better in what context?
Yeah, in your book, you talk about that. You say the one question that we should always think about is, as change leaders, how can I make things better? So when I'm in my school and I'm walking around and I'm talking with staff and how should we begin to do that? In your opinion?
As a very practical matter, I think we all need to become experts in what is good instruction. I used to do this experiment for more than a decade. I'd show a film of a 10th grade class, and I'd show it to leaders from one district, I'd show it to leaders from all over the country or around the world, and I'd ask them to grade the lesson without discussion. And it was always the same. The grade range was A to F. Absolutely no agreement on what is good instruction. And so I think that's the first place to start. And understanding that good instruction cannot be assessed completely by looking at what's going on in the front of the room. You have to look at student work. You have to see what students actually produce as the result of a lesson. So I think engaging teachers in a conversation about what is good lesson. We spend a lot of time and money in most systems on teacher evaluation. Well, in many places around the world, teacher evaluation is simply a way of trying to weed out the worst 5%. It does almost nothing to help the rest of us improve. So the Japanese have a different kind of approach. They call it lesson study. So if you ask a teacher, do they want to be evaluated, they'll cringe. If you say, would you like some feedback on a lesson, you get an entirely different response. So we all know that none of us have ever taught a perfect lesson. Never. Ask a teacher if they taught a perfect lesson. They say, heck no. So you ask them, would you like to be a part of a group that gives and receives feedback on improving lessons? They'll say, absolutely. So I think lesson study is a critical starting point. We're talking about our lesson design. We're ideally looking at videotapes of one another's lessons. We're looking at one another's student work and trying to understand how to improve continuously every single day in every single classroom. That, to me, is the ongoing work. The things that I mentioned are kind of above and beyond that. That's the bread and butter of our work. It's what we ought to be spending most of our time on instead of buses and budgets.